Welcome to Speed Data, quick conversations with cybersecurity leaders. I'm your host, Megan Garza. This week, I'm pleased to welcome Rachel Beard, Distinguished Technical Architect and CIPM. Welcome, Rachel.
Thank you. It's so great to be here with you.
Rachel provides solutions that help Salesforce customers address data security, compliance, and privacy requirements. The Salesforce Certified App Builder, Advanced Administrator, and 4-star Trailhead Ranger has more than 15 years of experience in customizing and configuring Salesforce applications. Rachel also serves as the president of Salesforce's Women in Solutions Excellence Group and is a co-leader of Outforce at Home, Salesforce's Pride ERG. Rachel has spent the last decade at Salesforce partnering with security executives to use technology to adapt and transform their business and develop effective security strategies. The Enterprise Award winner graduated magna cum laude from San Francisco State University and previously volunteered as a diversity and inclusion parent representative at her city's elementary school. Rachel, it certainly seems like you have a servant's heart. Have you always wanted to give back to your community? And how does that manifest in your role at Salesforce?
Yes, I've always enjoyed volunteering and working hard to make a difference in my community. At Salesforce, this has led for me to be a member of multiple different equality groups that we have here, but also with Outforce at Home specifically, I love that I can help collaborate with others to create events that are inclusive for all. And I love being able to create allyship educational programs to help all of us become stronger allies. And then through WISE, I get to lead 10 different committees that are really impactful. We develop content around networking and events, diversity. We have mentorship programs, educational programs, and more. And we create an environment that women can really thrive in and build enduring careers at Salesforce.
That's awesome. I love all these extracurriculars that you do at Salesforce. What do you enjoy most about your role, either day to day or overall?
Yeah, I really enjoy that I can go deep with my customers and understand what some of their current questions are, what their challenges are, what's keeping them up at night, really. And then I can help them work together to craft a strategy to overcome those challenges. And in doing that together, we can strengthen their security posture, we can improve compliance processes, and we can implement tools that help with auditing, governance, and data loss prevention.
And what made you want to go into cybersecurity?
Well, when I joined Salesforce 10 years ago, I was drawn to the fact that trust is our number one value. And I developed a deep respect for how well thought out our security model was, and then quickly became an evangelist for Salesforce's trusted services. As I learned more about Salesforce's shared responsibility model, I realized I could use my consulting background and work with customers to onboard their really innovative and amazing Salesforce use cases, but in a way that included security by design and privacy by design principles.
And speaking of security, what do you foresee as the biggest threat or risk to cybersecurity on the horizon?
When I think about this one, I think what challenges me the most is the rapid amount of change in technology, especially as we've seen everything changing with generative AI over the last year. As we see technology continuing to evolve, we know that threats evolve too. We know that attackers are really creative at figuring out ways to exploit systems and people and processes. And there's also a big learning curve at figuring out how to defend against these new types of attack.
And again, speaking of attacks, what type of data breaches or exploit do you worry about the most? What keeps you up at night?
For me, especially because I have a psychology background and I'm really interested in people and how people behave, I think a lot about insider threats. With Salesforce customers in particular, I feel very confident with our network and infrastructure security layers that they're offering a really strong level of protection against external attacks. So I think more about insider threats and what do individuals do? How can they be exploited? I want to think a lot about whether companies have strong access controls and authentication processes. I want to see that they're implementing some kind of least privilege access model to reduce the surface of risk in the event of data exfiltration. I see a lot of insider threats that are the result of a bad actor who's deliberately trying to walk away with data or damage data. But I also see insider threats that are the result of accidental misuse of data, accidental data leakage, or working with data in ways that just isn't compliant. And then on top of all of that, I see employees moving around more than they used to. So I know that when employees change roles, change companies, when they move, data often moves with them. So I want to make sure that companies are doing all they can to mitigate that risk by, again, having that least privilege access model to reduce that surface of what could be manipulated or stolen. And then also having really strong monitoring and prevention processes in place to reduce the risk of data loss from insider threat.
Because a lot of times when folks do move positions or roles within a company, their access or privileges isn't adjusted accordingly. And so if you have somebody working in, marketing and then they go and work in technology, they don't necessarily need to see, the marketing calendar.
Exactly.
Can you share one thing you wish future cybersecurity professionals knew?
There's no done with cybersecurity. You're never done learning, you're never done implementing security measures, and you're never done really worrying about security threats. And I don't say that to scare anyone off of this career. I find it very fulfilling. I love working in this field. I just want any future cybersecurity professionals to be excited for a career that is full of learning, problem solving, and teamwork, because that's really what's required for the role.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with me today, Rachel. I learned a lot about what it takes to make a data security solution successful. I appreciate you joining me for this episode of Speed Data. Take care.
Thank you.